The Colorado Buffaloes are set to start spring ball on March 19th with the spring game on April 22nd. William, everybody's excited. Let's start with a look at the safeties group here real quick. Charles Kelly takes over this group. He's known as an excellent recruiter, a good developer of talent at safety, has a solid resume as a defensive coordinator. I think if you have any questions about Kelly going forward here in Boulder, it's him as a defensive play caller and just kind of his ceiling and floor in that sense, right? I don't think there's any questions about him as a recruiter or what he's going to be able to do coaching those safeties.
Yeah, I think that Charles Kelly makes a big difference just as a coach on the field and getting those safeties in the right position. You know what? You're not going to see technical malfunctions from guys playing for Charles Kelly. They're going to be in the right place. They're going to break down. They're going to tackle right. They're not going to miss tackles. They're not going to do some of the things that we've seen a lot of from our safety position. So just bringing him in before we even talk about any players, I think, is a tremendous upgrade to that position.
Personnel wise, you don't lose a whole lot. Isaiah Lewis was a hardworking kid,
Right.
had a nice 2020 season. I think everybody enjoyed the fact that he was able to squeeze the potential he had to
Yeah.
be an impact guy at the Pac-12 level. But you bring back Trevor Woods. Dylan Dixon showed some promise during his first camp with the Buffaloes. And then you bring in a lot of talent through the transfer portal. Arkansas transfer Miles
Yeah.
Slusher, Jackson State transfer Cameron Silmon-Craig. And all indications are Shiloh Sanders is going to join that safeties group as well. You've got Tyron Taylor as a returning guy that played a lot as an underclassman at CU. How do you feel about the talent level and the overall depth of this group?
Well, I think it's the best we've seen in a few years, which is not saying a lot. But I want to say first of all, you got to love Isaiah Lewis because there's a guy that just got every single bit of his athletic ability. I mean, you know, in all honesty, he's just barely a Pac-12 level safety, but because of his work ethic and his sticking to it, he really made a difference back there for us. But the guys we have now are a significant step above him, and just in terms of raw talent. So if they combine that with the same kind of work ethic, we're really going to see something. But Trevor Woods and Tyron Taylor were guys that I thought looked really good at times last year. Need to work on some parts of their games, but then you bring in Miles Slusher and Silmon-Craig and Jeremy Mack, if Shiloh gets here. Dylan Dixon is one that I'm really wanting to look at because I think that he brought a lot of talent. He's one of those talent type of guys in the first place. He didn't get to show it too much as a true freshman, but hopefully he really breaks out in his second season.
Yeah, and I think you're right. My wild card in this group is Dylan Dixon. He's a guy that folks are really excited about when he came in and played in 3 games, had season-ending surgery, was able to redshirt. I don't necessarily think Dylan Dixon is starting this year, but he's a guy that maybe people forget about, that he was a headliner of his recruiting class at CU.
Yeah, and I think starting may not be as big of a deal in the secondary when we're going to have to play a lot of guys anyway. I think and play them, and I think also that Charles Kelly's going to play guys in situations as well who fit those situations better or against teams that fit their particular skill set. So I don't know. I'm looking at all the names on the list, and wouldn't be surprised to me too much if Dylan Dixon, by the end of next year, whatever, isn't the best of them.
All right, I did an in-depth spring ball position preview for the safety position on buffstampede.com. Make sure you check that out. We're going to be talking about each position briefly here in the videos, and then we go more in depth on the side.